Alright, this video is for Paul. I have your quad finished up. Here it is. This is the frame is actually a FedTech FG1 or Gravity, FedTech Gravity 1. It's a 3-inch frame. I literally just finished it up and I was having some problems with the kiss stuff, which I sometimes have, but usually it's pretty simple, but I'll get into that here in a minute. We'll go through the parts. So like I said, it's the FedTech FG1. It's a 3-inch frame. Pretty cool little frame. It's kind of designed to run the DJI system. You can see you got the Vista there with the Polar camera, which is a micro cam, so it's 20 millimeters wide. I believe that this frame is made for a nano cam. So as you can see, the camera kind of sticks out a little bit in the front there. That could be a very easy fix because there's so much room behind here before you get to the standoffs that you would definitely be able to use some different mounts here. I didn't look, but I could possibly have some actually. I'll check after this video, and if I do, I will put them on. But it has M2 standoffs, and most of my stuff is M3 for my TPU pieces. I might have some M2. Actually, I know I had one from like a Tomoquad's frame that is made for M2, so it's just the holes for the TPU piece needs to just come back a little bit so that it brings the camera back a little bit, and you can see you got a good 8 millimeters or 6 millimeters until you get back here, so plenty of room for a micro camera up front. It's just these mounts, I'm pretty sure, were designed for a nano camera because this is more of a light 3-inch build. As you can see, we have some T-Motor 1303s on here. These are the 5000 kV, and like I said, we got the Polar with the Vista. We also have the FedTech 15 amp all-in-one, which is a really nice board. Really nice. I think this was my first time ever actually seeing it in person. Then we got a Crossfire Nano, which is in the back here. Bind buttons right there. Very easy to access. Got a nice big cap. This is the cap that came with the FC. It's a 330 35 volt. This is the antenna that came with the Polar. But the mount, I think, was probably for like the Vista antenna, which is thicker. The plastic piece is thicker, so this didn't fit in there, so I used some hot glue, some yellow hot glue, trying to kind of match the gold because the motors are gold and black, and then I use this wire cover stuff that's gold and black, and then we got blue props. I should have got some. It sucks that they don't make like black 3-inch props. They only make the smoke gray, which I don't really like. I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why they don't make black ones. But it's even harder to find props you like that have the 2 millimeter hole in the center, because these shafts on these motors are 2 millimeter. So there's even less options for props with the 2 millimeter hole. So that's what you got. I do have one spare set that I'll be sending with this. Not bad. I mean, I don't know. I think these are probably 35 millimeter standoffs. I didn't measure them, but they look like they're really tall. So you have enough room for your all-in-one and then also for the Vista, you can see. And then there's like, in between the screws there's probably 5 millimeters of space. So tons of space. Plenty of space, especially if you're using an all-in-one. You could possibly even use a stack in here. I don't know. It'd be close, but if you weren't mounting everything, like I got the Vista mounted to the top plate because the top plate has 20 by 20 holes in it. But if you were to just like throw some foam tape in there or something, you could smash it all together and it would fit. So like I said, yeah, it's got 20 by 20 holes in the top, which is most likely for your Vista. And then the stack, the 20 by 20 holes are actually the same screws that mounts the arms, and then inside of that it has like these slots, which you could probably use 16 by 16, I'm sure, but nothing bigger than 20 by 20, that's for sure. So either 20 by 20 or 16 by 16. and then nano cam, unless you don't mind the camera sticking out or you improvise with some different camera mounts. And that's about it. So oh, and then I put the battery on the bottom, so I made it for bottom mount, but you could use top mount. I guess I'll ask you before I ship it, and then I'll have to just make some space in between the Vista and the top plate for a battery strap. But I think it'll be good with bottom mount. I don't know, I guess it just depends on what you want. So, and I painted the XT30 gold. And yeah, so let's go. I'll show you. Okay, so first thing is this flight controller. It's not really designed for DJI setup, but it does have instructions on it, and for if you wanted to. So it's a pain in the ass though to make it work. I spent quite a bit of time on it. I mean, to begin with, the pads, they're on the bottom of the flight controller. So I wish I would have known that before I had put the whole thing together, and then realized that I was going to have to take it apart and take the motors off and stuff just to be able to flip the flight controller over so that I could get to the pads. And then second off, the pads are the smallest pads I've ever seen. And you know me, I've built many quads, and I've seen all kinds of pads. These are the smallest ones I've ever soldered to. I mean, I had to use a magnifying glass, seriously. So it's just ridiculous. So there's these two pads that are close to each other. You have to bridge them to make the FetTech OSD not work, which is actually really cool that they included OSD in here. That's just awesome. But you have to disable it to be able to use the UART. So this actually has 3 UARTs, but as far as the pads that you can see, you would only think that there was 1, maybe 2 UARTs, because one is on this side and it's like the one for all receivers, you know, and then there's a pad over here that says smart audio, you know, so that's obviously a TX pad, but it doesn't even show the RX pad. So really there's only one full UART that any person that isn't really an expert would know about. But if you read the manual, there is actually 3, but like I said, you have to disable the FetTech OSD by bridging the 2 pads, and then there's other 2 pads that are just, like I said, the tiniest ones I've ever seen. You have to use a magnifying glass to solder to them, and that is the RX and TX1 that you would be running your Vista to. Alright, so, and then besides that, I mean, people might already know this about KISS, because I'm not really up on all the KISS stuff, you know, because I don't do it often. But let me just show you real quick. So let's go to the KISS GUI. And shit, I don't know how good you're gonna be able to see that. Let me just plug it in real quick, and then I'll try to make the screen look better. So I'm plugging the quad in, and then we're gonna open up. Alright, so there's the main screen. And then, so the thing that I was thinking about and having a problem with was, with Betaflight, you can just go into the ports tab, and then you click MSP for whatever your Vista's on, you know? But KISS didn't have that, and they just recently like added it. So you're gonna go to the Advanced tab, and then in there, see, it doesn't even show this. It only shows it now because I clicked on Use Advanced Serial Configuration. So that's what you're gonna click on. See, it's just like that. So you'd be like, oh shit, where is it? You know, but you gotta click on Use Advanced Serial Configuration. And then you gotta click I know what I'm doing, which looks really scary, but you just click I know what I'm doing. And then in there, you got your 3 UARTs. So you can see the first one I clicked on DJI MSP. It was on KISS Protocol OSD. But since I bridged that to turn it off, now it's DJI MSP. And then 2 is what I have my receiver on, and then 3 is for smart audio or whatever. So there you go. That's that. So sorry this video is so long. I just wanted to kind of show, maybe somebody out there might learn something that they needed to learn from this. So I guess we could just do a quick hover and then get this thing on its way. Let me just grab my radio real quick. Alright, so turn my radio on, plug the goggles in, and then we'll plug the quad in. There was one other thing I was going to show you, the FetTech configurator, but I don't know. I think that this might be your first time messing with FetTech stuff, but oh yeah, that's so awesome. I was worried about that. That's why I had to try to figure it out, because when I first started this, it wasn't showing the battery voltage. You can see now you got battery voltage right there, 12.6. It was just showing in/A, you know, which means there's a problem. So I finally figured it out, which I'm glad that I did, because it was pissing me off. So all right, here we go. Let me go up a little bit. This thing flies so good. Oh my god, it's like the smoothest I've ever seen. It's just crazy how smooth it is. And for 3S, has a shitload of power. But it's just so smooth, it just sits there. It's crazy. But that's Kiss for you. I mean, I swear, every single time that I fly Kiss, I'm just so amazed at how smooth it is and how it just sits there. But anyways, yeah, that's about it. This could be possibly the nicest micro I've ever built. I mean, it's just so nice. I love it. I just love it. Yeah. So there you go. You'll get your beautiful quad in a few days, and I'll send you over tracking when I have it. All right. Thanks, Paul.